I've been investing for 20 years, and I can tell you that real estate investing does get affected by the election cycle. What is going on, DeRosa Insiders community? This is Matt Faircloth, and welcome to DeRosa Insiders Live. We go live at noon on certain days. Today's Thursday. We used to go live on Fridays. We're going to be moving that around a little bit to catch some of your schedules. You guys are watching the recording. That's all good. Make sure you like the show and stay tuned for other live broadcasts that we do where you guys can watch the show live, make comments, jump into the conversations, be a part of the convo about real estate investing, about building real estate businesses, just the inside look at real estate investing. DeRosa Insiders is what we do. If you guys want to join an awesome, cool community, go to Facebook and go to DeRosa Insiders, where you guys can join a free, capital F, free community called DeRosa Insiders on Facebook. Guys, a lot of people are talking about what's going on in the current election, right? The last thing I would ever do is to tell y'all who I think you should vote for, who I'm voting for, or whatever. I don't think it's my place, right? I actually kind of believe the politics probably gets discussed too often in between friends and public forums or whatever. I think it's more of a personal choice and personal alignment, but people do ask. Right? What do I just throw out, guys, about the politics and about the elections and whatnot? Because people ask, like, hey, what is going to happen to real estate investing going into and short-term, long-term after the election? So here's what I remember from 4 years ago and 4 years before that and 4 years before that, because I've been investing for 20 years, and I can tell you that real estate investing does get affected by the election cycle, but it is something that's not typically the way that you would think. There are certain strategies that certain presidential campaigns have brought in, like the Trump administration put in a program that allowed people to do through opportunity zones and things like that, to do tax credits. But before that, other presidential administrations implemented all kinds of other things for real estate investing. Just what you got to do is there's not one candidate over another you should vote for real estate investing. Just understand what they're going to do that's going to affect the market of real estate investing, right? Yeah, even during COVID, the rules changed and we got to go to follow along with the rules. So I would suggest that, as I've done, read the campaign platform for both presidents and look to see what they're planning on doing long-term, right? And how you as a real estate investor can play in with that. Right, because your vote is your vote's your vote, but it's going wherever. Whoever gets elected is going to have their own initiatives that they're going to implement. Teach me the rule. Find the rules. Find out the rules that they're going to do. If they're going to be bringing back the Qualified Opportunity Zone Act or something like that, find a way to make money with that, or not, or find a way to make money with more affordable housing, or whatever it is that the initiative is going to be. That's the long-term gain. It's short and simple. That's the long-term gain that you want to play. Now, what's going to happen, as I predict going into the election, because it's currently the Democratic administration going in to try and get another Democrat elected, whatever that may be, you're likely going to see some changes, pushes in the stock market that's going to affect the real estate affinity for real estate, such as interest rates and those kinds of things. We're probably going to see an interest rate drop. And if you believe that interest rates are tied to the election, I'm not saying they directly are, but we've been due for an interest rate drop. So I think we're going to be seeing an interest rate drop, whether you think that that's a puppeteer move to try and get the stock market to bounce because of because of an interest rate drop, or whether you think that that is something that's truly going to happen just because we need it, because we're due for it or whatever. Either way, we're going to see it. And so be prepared for that. So if you've got a refinance that's hitting, or a purchase that's going to hit in the next, say, 30 to 45, 60 days, I personally would try and extend any acquisition out a bit, because you're going to be seeing, I think, lower rates in the next 60 days, partly because of the election, partly because the Fed's been talking about doing it for a while now, right? That said, there is a certain emotional frenzy that comes around elections. Our country is so darn polarized these days, right, that I would be cautious. Aside from interest rates, like I just said, short term, there is such polarization that happens. So I would be careful about I would be a bit cautious going into the election and just for your plans for a couple months after the election, because just whoever gets elected, first of all, let's put it this way, 50% of America is going to be not happy. Okay. And so regardless of what they do with that, 50% of America is not going to be happy with whoever gets elected president. And I'm not saying who should or should not be elected. that's certainly going to be what happens no matter what. That unhappiness certainly flows into all kinds of things, economic sentiments, jobs, the way just people feel about their day and everything like that. So I just think that things are going, if I were I'm a real estate investor, if I were you, I would be cautious with regards to making bold moves or major changes in your business in the next, say, 3 to 6 months. That's the short-term plan, because just as in my all-time experience, election cycles are weird. They're just weird. They tend to bring out the worst in everybody, And so you're going to see the worst come out in everybody. The worst come out in commentators, the worst come out in the media, the worst come out in people and the way they act, including buyers and sellers and everybody like that. And just people are going to be a little skittish about the election, kind of wanting to see what happens. So I think that the best thing to do is to wait a little bit until you see what happens afterwards. Now, the article that Nabiku, my ghost in the machine here, is going to post, I want you guys to check out. You only get this article if you guys are watching live. That's why you got to watch live, or go to DeRosa Insiders where you can get a copy of this article. So Nabiku, please put it out. The article is really about how election cycles affect local economies, more national economies as well. So read this article because it's a good insight. I just gave you my take on it, but I want you guys to read this because it'll tell you how you guys can play into investing around elections for your current real estate business and what you should do even on a local side, like who's going to change zoning laws, who's going to affect national scales and things like that. So guys, check out the article that was there about how elections affect real estate. My advice, just be a little cautious and sit tight. And then once the election dust has settled, so to speak, and the emotion factor goes back to normal level for the next 3 years and 9 months, right? Once that happens, then you can go and lurk to see who got elected and look to see what they're going to be implementing and how you can benefit that in your business. Be more pragmatic about it. Like I said, teach me the rules and I'll play the game, kind of thing. Okay? That's what I got for you guys today with regards to real estate investing and elections.